All right, everybody, welcome to Good Times with Alex and Ryan. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification button on YouTube or wherever you're listening. And, my name is Ryan Sprague. I'm at Ryan W. Sprague. Any social media? Alex.
My name is Alex Vanover. You can follow me on Twitter at Vandollar15. You can follow me on YouTube at Alex Vanover.
All right, Alex, what do we got going on today? You got some news stories for us, huh?
Yeah, I got a couple news stories. First thing I want to get into is I want to talk about something very important, Ryan.
I'm ready for some important stuff.
Now, since we're doing this live, we're recording live. Now's not the time to have your mistress walk in the back like a Spanish news reporter did the other day. This guy was in Spain, and he was recording his news segment from his house, and he's dating a girl who either won or was a contestant on their version of Big Brother in Spain. And the fans and people were watching them, and they knew these two as a couple. Well, in the background, you could see this girl scantily clad walking in the back.
Check out what happened during one Spanish news anchor's live on-air segment.
And everybody on the stream and the feed was like, oh, who is that? That's not so-and-so. What are you doing? So he got busted.
Busted big time.
Busted big time, yeah.
Took him down to Chinatown.
Yeah, he got busted. And then after a couple days, he just tried to ignore it, and he tried to just, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then he eventually just owned it. He's like, okay, yeah, that happened, and that wasn't my girlfriend, and you got me. What are you going to do?
What happened? Did they break up? Or?
No, I don't know. I didn't see the follow-up story, but who knows? I mean,
well, Alex.
What's up, man?
You know what the Bible says about having mistresses and
I know exactly
true to your wife.
Yeah. First of all, it's against it. It's against it. And number two, he was already living in sin anyway because he wasn't married to the other girl. So, you know what the Bible says about living with a female or, a male or someone you're dating that's not your significant other, right, Ryan?
It's against it.
It's against it. Yeah. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
I'm thinking about that BBC show where the guy's doing a show and then all of a sudden his kid just drops in. He's doing a live network BBC show at home. His kid comes dropping in yeah. And this other kid comes dropping in and his wife just runs in and grabs him and starts pushing him out.
Oh man.
The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean for the wider region? I think want to go.
I would be surprised if they do. Pardon me. My apologies.
What's this going to mean for the region?
South Korea's policy.
I can see that.
I'm telling you, man, there's some serious issues with quarantine TV and radio because there's a lot of factors that you don't take into account. Just because daddy or mommy's doing business right now, the kids are like, oh my gosh, dad's here, mom's here, I'm going to get their attention. You know what I mean? They don't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't know.
You've seen it in my channel. I mean, if you watch some of the podcasts, you can see my son running around in the back.
The other day, I was rewatching some of our episodes, Ryan, and I was trying to count how many times I saw your son poke around the corner.
He would come out even with a Kindle Fire and take some videos.
Yeah, I was like,
so I'm just gonna go with it, whatever.
I was just trying to focus in on, listening to the audio, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna count how many times little Ryan walks around the corner.
Yeah, he does look a lot like me.
Oh my, yeah, like he got hit with a shrink ray.
He is exactly like you in every way, except 1/8 your size.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
Honey, I Shrunk Myself.
Pretty much.
No doubt. So Ryan, so another newsworthy thing that happened today. The Little League World Series got canceled for the first time ever, and they've been playing it since 1947.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Wow. That is a pretty big deal. That's pretty cool. It's even bigger than almost the the professionals because it's worldwide.
Yeah.
Like, and it's these kids from certain areas. It's not like they go like recruit people from around the world to be on a team. It's like your hometown just gets, and you just grow to where you get to this playoff.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It just
awesome.
happened. Like if we would have won when we were kids, maybe All-Star team, one state, one regionals, one nationals, you'd have a shot at it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
The worst part about this whole thing is we're going to miss the little kid interviews where it's like, my name's Steven and I hit dingers. My favorite food is chicken strips and my favorite beverage is soda.
Hi, my name's Alfred D'Elia. At home they call me Big Al and I hit dingers.
You nationally because your nickname is Big Al, but I understand you have some other nicknames.
What's your favorite one out of those?
Cookie.
Cookie? Why Cookie? Where did Cookie come from?
Great question.
So I burnt myself.
Hello, my name's Alex Brown. They call me Cash Money.
Cha-ching!
I haven't watched.
You
I've
haven't seen any of those
Never
interviews?
seen one of those interviews.
They do like ESPN coverage, and then the kids will be interviewed, or they'll have their little pre-at-bat montage or whatever, and they'll ask them questions. And, you know, they answer the questions in true 12-year-old style. It's great. We're going to miss all that. So thanks a lot, coronavirus, you dick.
What do you really think about coronavirus?
I'm getting sick of it.
I am too. I'm pretty sick of it.
I'm getting sick of it. I miss the movies, man. I really miss the movies a lot.
You can watch movies in your home, Alex.
I like going to the movie theater, and I like getting popcorn, and I like having a place to go. I mean, like when you start embracing the straight edge lifestyle like I do, it's not like I'm going down to a tavern or a pub to go see what's going on. I have very limited like night excursions. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're chasing that brass ring, Ryan, and you want to pull that son of a bitch down, you're not going out and doing a lot of late night activities because you got to get up and you got to grind, right? And you look confused because you haven't been grinding lately, right? I haven't seen any run posts from you lately. No workout posts. I can't do it for both of us, bud.
I do need to run more, but I was thinking just wait till you have wife and kids. Yeah, why are you going out and doing wholesome things and not spending time with me? You know, there's this whole like movement on TikTok of where these girls are like they're like, oh yeah, I finally get to spend time with my boyfriend, and then it shows him like playing video games. Like, oh, this is what I get, just him playing video games.
I dated a girl one time for like 2 or 3 years, and like her main source of attention from me was me playing NCAA football while I ate Taco Bell while laying on my stomach at the same exact time. I'm like laid out with a PlayStation 2 controller with Taco Bell dipping it, and nacho cheese sauce. That was a great. I'm sure she had a really good time. I don't understand how that did. I don't understand how that didn't work out.
You don't understand why that's yeah.
Why didn't that work out? I don't know.
Apparently, it's a common thing, though.
Yeah, things were going so well. Hey, man. So in other news, check this out. Jessica Meyer, who was an astronaut, just returned to Earth from being in space for 200 days, and she left on her mission to space or wherever she was going. I don't know. And she came back, and there's a huge global quarantine on Earth, the whole planet. It's totally changed.
She's just like, I want some people interaction. It gets down here. No!
They're like strapping her up in a hazmat suit as soon as she gets off the freaking. Well, when you get off of a space shuttle or something, I guess I read that your immune system is already kind of lower because that's just something that happens when you re-enter Earth's gravitational pull. It takes a lot of stress on your system.
Yeah.
So just the fact that she was going to have to go through that during this pandemic, that's a lot to swallow, man. That's crazy.
How long was she up there for?
200 days.
Okay. When they're up there for a long time, and this is why I think, they're having trouble getting people to Mars and stuff. When you're up there for a long time, your body, it must like stretch out or something because it doesn't have the gravity. And so like when this other guy, he spent like around 200 or 300 days up there. I don't remember what his name was, but when he was down, he's in a wheelchair. He couldn't hardly move.
Nearly a year in zero gravity.
My legs are a little swollen still from the, the fluid that shifts up to our heads and in space gets now pushed back down on my legs.
Your body's been through some stuff.
Yeah.
Because your muscles deteriorate. So it's tough.
Well, when Homer went to space on The Simpsons, he seemed fine when he came back, and he was eating bags of chips that had busted open, and he was floating around. And
Homer, no!
Opening cans of soda and swallowing the whole can in one gulp.
Well,
so you're telling me The Simpsons wasn't scientifically correct the way gravity works?
I guess I haven't seen The Simpsons. I don't know if I've seen one full episode, because I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid.
Oh my gosh! What were you allowed to watch? Like Seventh Heaven and like?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was on. I never watched it because it was super corny. So I was like, yeah, I don't like this one. What
the guy, the dad?
What, Touched by an Angel?
Roma Downey Jr. She talked like this. She was a Scottish angel, or whoever she was from, Roma Downey.
I don't remember.
No,
you have such a good memory. I didn't pay much attention. It was something my parents watched.
Listen, Steven something. I don't know what his last name was, but the dad on Seventh Heaven, who played a pastor on that show for 8 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He got busted for child molestation.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh,
nah. Yeah, and I don't think any people on The Simpsons or Family Guy or anything ever got busted for child molestation. So your parents are wrong, Ryan. They should have let you watch stuff I was watching.
Hey,
you got the straight and narrow, pal.
Tell you what, Family Guy came out when I was in college, and I watched.
And you're frozen.
I'm frozen. You're frozen.
Your screen's frozen, my brother.
So is yours. So is yours, buddy. There, you're back. Am I back yet?
No, it was never. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah. No,
hey,
I start. Hold on. You gotta let me finish. Just because our screen frozen doesn't mean you get to
Oh, go.
Oh,
your audio was awful too.
Was it? Is it still awful? Hello?
No, it's good now.
Hello.
You're good. You're good to go.
Clarice. Hello, Clarice.
You're good to go.
All right. So, we're talking about Family Guy. I watched all the Family Guy episodes coming out because it was when it was canceled. I didn't see any of that when it was on TV. It was canceled and it came out on DVD. And then in college, I watched all of them, and they were hilarious. And then, as I'm getting older and getting more of a conscience, I'm like, well, that's a little creepy. Some of the jokes make me laugh so hard, and I still use them in these videos.
Wait, so as you get older, you didn't just grow physically in stature; you also grew conscious as well.
Apparently, I grew more of a conscience.
Okay,
like the popsicle guy. I have a hard time with.
Oh my gosh!
because
Chris,
because it's the undertone of that is not good.
I thought he was just a nice old guy that wanted Chris to come in because he was a good paper boy. Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this, Ryan?
I'm just saying it's not wholesome. not a wholesome thing.
Hey, so have you been watching? So speaking of being wholesome, have you watched the new show on Netflix, Waco?
No, I have not.
Dude, that show is forget Too Hot to Handle, forget Tiger King. This is the new one, Ryan.
Is it?
Yeah, there was this guy named David Koresh back in 1993.
Okay, I've seen documentaries.
Yeah. He led the Branch Davidians, which was a sect of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is the church that I used to go to when I was a kid, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh. Yeah, well, it was when I was younger.
Was it one on Newmark?
It was on Newmark, yeah. You would go to church on Saturday because they believed that the seventh day was Saturday in the week, so you're keeping, the Sabbath or whatever. But anyway, so this guy, David Koresh, was basically saying that he was the Messiah, and he was able to like interpret the seventh seal of the Revelations and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he had all these people buying into his crap. And one of the things that I thought was so ridiculous was he was telling, so if you were in his parish, he would, regardless if you were married or not, you couldn't sleep with your wife. He took upon nobody could do anything sexually with any of the women except for him, because he was because he was doing all the men a favor. He was taking on the burden of the sexual, the sin and the iniquities. He was going to take care of it himself. So he took care of it for the flock.
I've heard that method from almost every single cult. Like there's this one Holy Hell or something that's on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's the same thing. Like they all do the same thing. Like they're like, well, your girl's no longer yours. They're mine. It's like it's a way of like gaining. Like even the guy on Tiger King, like when he gets all these girls, it's just
Doc Antle.
Yeah, just a way of gaining power. That's how they. Yeah. So there was another documentary I saw where they were, ushering in the kingdom, and they were the two witnesses that he was messing around with, and
he's all, let me usher in the kingdom of God through my pants. He unzips his pants and just a glowing light comes out from through the zipper. It's like the briefcase on Pulp Fiction. You just open it up, it's like pure blinding light.
That's cold. That's what they do. There's like a theme of
they
do.
Yeah,
and that's one of them. They take people's wives and say that and that really degrades like the husband for sure. Like so like he has to follow and do whatever the other guy says because he's powerful enough to take his wife and then you're stuck in that mentality. It's bad. It's not good.
I don't understand how you could even get yourself in that position. If somebody came up to me and they're like, child, I am the light, I am blah, 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 now let me have your wife, I'd be like, no. No.
What it is, well, so like if you're around that community all the time, you hear it all the time, they're more susceptible. Also, if a lot of times what they'll do is find people on the fringes that are more susceptible, like that are not in a group already or with people that are just more vulnerable or that they'll latch onto them. They can like see it. So just something to watch out for. I mean, I don't know if
so they like play on their like
insecurities and such,
and like belief system, and like they've probably been pissed on and beaten down in life.
Yeah.
And they're just like more susceptible to like brainwashing. Probably, is that what you're saying?
Right. Generally, I'm not saying it's like that's what happens, but it's just a theme.
Well, I know that the Manson family, like Charles Manson, I've watched a lot about him and read a lot about him. A lot of his following was, the people that had fallen through the cracks, the love childs in the 60s and free love, and they probably ran away from their home and they didn't have anywhere else to go, and he decided he was going to show them the way and help them out. Sounds exactly like David Koresh. Exactly like
that's another
exactly
one.
What you're saying.
And then who's that other guy that did that mass suicide down in Ghana? That guy Jones.
Oh, Jim Jones.
Yeah, same type of thing.
He, I speaking of Jim Jones, I was watching a documentary on Netflix about him, and apparently a lot of the people were like, "We got to get out of here. This guy's going crazy." And so the United States government sent down some officials to like see what was going on.
Oh, because their family members were concerned.
Yeah, so the United States sent people down there to check it out, and Jim Jones was like, "No, everybody pretend like everything's on the up and up," or
he would do that.
Yeah.
He would shame you in front of everybody if you disagreed with him.
Well, anyway, so one of the family members or somebody in the group like slipped this senator or congressman a note and was like, "Hey, stuff's going down. You need to like help us." And then the congressman said, "Hey, to Jim Jones," and the whole place was like, "Whoever wants to get out of here can come with me right now." So a bunch of them decided they were going to escape, and Jim Jones had his guards kill
the
congressman and all the other people. Yeah, and then that's what led to all the people drinking the Kool-Aid. And some of the people didn't even want to drink that Kool-Aid. They were forced to, or else they'd be murdered. So it was like that was one of the craziest ones that I
that was pretty nuts.
Yeah, that was nuts.
There was ones that the Haley's Comet or something.
Hail Bob. So what else? What's going on? What'd you do today?
I learned that I have to wear a mask all day at work, starting the 4th.
Because of
the
COVID, obviously.
Yeah, and like all the other places are doing it, so we're gonna start doing it. And yay!
That's gonna be so hard to give customer service for like 8-hour shifts wearing a mask.
You can't see my facial expressions.
Yeah, that doesn't.
You can just see my eyes like this. I just walk around like that so no one talks to me.
One good thing about wearing a facial, like a mask like that at work will be you can silently cuss someone under your breath when they're asking you a dumb question and they won't see it. So that's good.
You know what? Kevin Hart used to do that, but he didn't have a mask. He would just like talk really fast and say, and then say a swear word as he's talking, and they'd be like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I just said," and then a swear word, and then I was like,
"Man,
huh?"
You want to talk about Brian? You want to talk about somebody that hustled in the industry? Kevin Hart was like Mr. Bit Part player for years. And he just kept working and doing stand-up and doing shows.
Oh, yeah, I read his
moving
book.
roles. Yeah, he's like The Rock, is one of the hardest. It may be the hardest working man in professional, movies and TV and stuff. But Kevin Hart's got to be right there as well, right? Yeah. I mean, they both. I feel like for a while there, neither one of them would turn down a role. I mean, they would just say yes to everything. I went to a Rock movie one time, and there was 2 previews for Rock movies coming up in the Rock movie.
He's got a lot of charisma. But did you see when he started out, like he didn't have that?
The character of the Rock refers to himself in the third person, very arrogant and over the edge in terms of a lot of things actually on the show. So it's the character's really blown up in terms of popularity and appeal.
He was just a really nice guy, but he wasn't he didn't have the charisma that he had now.
This is the way I walk in my kitchen. That's how you walk to the kitchen. I walk in my kitchen. Okay, then I'll live that life. I know what it's like. And I also know what it's like to transition out of football. Come on, look at that. I'm all over the YouTube channel now. I just got to come up with the move now. I like that.
He had to be
Rock
taught
or
that.
Kevin Hart?
The Rock. Like, he had to be taught that. You'll see an interview where he's just, quiet, nice, reserved. And then now he's learned to be very just charismatic, open, great, friendly. But before he had to learn that stuff.
He was, I'm sure professional wrestling had a lot to do with that, considering he was one of the best talkers in World Wrestling Federation history. You could give him a mic and he would make anything entertaining. I liked him so much that I used to have my sideburns cut just like him in high school. I had a fade just like him. I had a Rock toothbrush, a yellow one. I had Rock posters all over my room. I thought he was the greatest thing ever.
I was just kind of mad when he beat Hogan. I was like, why did he beat Hogan?
Oh, at WrestleMania 18?
But he was Hogan was bad at that point, I guess. So
yeah. Have you've seen that match then, right?
Yeah. I pulled it up because it was like in suggested on YouTube or something. But
yeah, that match was crazy because The Rock came in as the good guy and Hogan was the bad guy. But during the course of the match, the fans were cheering for Hogan so much and so loudly that they switched roles during the match. So Hogan became the good guy by the end of the match, and The Rock became the bad guy at the end of the match.
Oh, but just by the fans, though. By the fans cheering.
The fans told them what they wanted to see, so they just switched it up.
They switched it right then, live?
Yeah, they were probably in the middle of the ring. They were like, hey, I'm going to start wrestling this style. and then you just start wrestling as a baby face, and I'll wrestle as a heel. And wrestling a good guy is a baby face, and in wrestling, a bad guy is called a heel. So not only is a loaf of bread a heel is a bad thing, but in wrestling, a heel is also a bad thing. So yeah, heels just suck all around.
Yeah, they do. And
they do suck.
Achilles started it.
Ryan, speaking of Achilles heel, I've been exercising every day. You know how I post on Twitter and stuff, my little updates.
Yeah.
My right heel was shredded. It's still pretty messed up because my shoe wasn't on tight enough, so it kept rubbing against my heel.
No, it's a good thing you didn't start out running then.
Oh, dude, it was like I've had to tape it up. I've had to Nicole poured hydrogen peroxide in it, which is exactly what you're not supposed to do. We Googled it later. It felt like someone was burning, like someone just set a match on my ankle. It was so bad.
You're supposed to just ice it. Get the
dude. Now. I messed up because I just put a sock over top of it after I showered 2 days ago. Yeah. And it looked like it was getting infected.
Oh, dude, you should have just,
It's good now. We're good now.
Oh, it's good. Okay.
You're
You're still walking. You're like, I'm fine. God. You're going to wind up like that guy in Tiger King that had no legs because he was like, I'm going to walk it off. I'm going to walk it off. Oh, I have no legs now. It's okay.
Rub some dirt on it and get it out there, you baby.
I'm going to help the Tigers even if I have no legs.
Oh, my gosh. Ryan, do you want to start talking about the topics that you want to talk about?
Well, I think we'll talk about those next episode.
Okay.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week on Good Times with Alex and Ryan. All right. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Just do it. Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. What are you waiting for?